Gematria, occult numerology. The numbers 777 and 666 need to be understood. And then we need to understand a bit about Gematria. Okay? 777's meaning in occultism is mankind in unity consciousness. The three digits represent thought, emotion, and action. And 7 means the state of activation, unification, or completeness. So 777 in occultism, in occult numerology, means thoughts, emotions, and actions activated, unified, and complete. This is why the number 666, 6 being the state of incompletion, and Freeman went into that, the Vav character and the number 6 in connection with the V and the W, okay? 666 represents man in base consciousness or beast consciousness, the consciousness of an animal, okay? Thought, emotion, and action in a state of inactivity or incompleteness, or in other words, dead. Now, we can reduce. I have a column here called reduction. Add the 3 7s together, you get 21. Then add the 2 and the 1, and you get 3. That's called Gematria reduction. You're going to reduce to one digit instead of 3 or 2. Add 666 together, you get 18. Then add the 1 and the 8, and you get 9. Okay, so these two numbers are significant in the occult. Again, 3, the divine triangle, the Trinity, thought, emotion, and action. Well, what does 9 represent? Again, don't take my words. Let's hear from our good buddy, Mr. Anton LaVey, High Priest of the Church of Satan, who is no longer with us. He died back in '99. 9, the number 9, despite others' attempts to identify a certain number with Satan, it will be known that 9 is his number. 9 is the number of the ego. For it always returns to itself, no matter what is done through the most complex multiplication of 9 by any other number. No matter what is done through the most complex multiplication of 9 by any other number, in the final equation, 9 alone will stand forth. And we're going to see what he means by this. This is quoted from his book, The Satanic Rituals. And again, this is Cub Scouts of Satanism compared to where it goes. Okay? The properties of 9, which represents ego and base consciousness. The column to the left is the addition properties of the number 9 in arithmetic. No matter what number you add, grab my laser pointer. No matter what number you add to 9, okay, after the reduction of the addition, you return to the same number. 1 plus 9 is 10. Add the 1 and the 0, you get 1. You can do that with any series of numbers, and it will always return to itself. This occultically means that adding ego to anything changes nothing. You cannot create change through ego. 9 times anything, the multiplicative properties of the number 9, always returns to 9, which is what LaVey was saying in the last quote. Okay, anything you multiply 9 by, you add the digits together, you will return to 9. This means when ego is multiplied, you only get more of the same thing. Again, no change results. Now we understand why it is equated with the number of the beast. And indeed, LaVey was indirectly telling you, yes, it is 666 is the number 9. He just wanted to occult that a little bit for the reader that didn't really understand Gematria. Okay? The goal of, I'm sorry, let me go back there. The goal of consciousness needs to be to rise out of that state of base consciousness from the 666 or the beast to 777 or the number of man's completion. Okay, which is coming online in thought, emotion, and action, and unifying those 3 principles such that as we think, so we feel, so we act, and there is no contradiction or duality between those 3 principles of consciousness. When we do that, we have risen from the 9 to the 3, and that is why this number, 93, is one of the most powerful occult numbers in all of occult numerology. It means love, the will, and the ascension to higher states of consciousness. For one has transcended the 9 and gone to the 3, or the state of completion. In other words, the imperfect ashlar has become the perfect ashlar. Therefore, the number 911, which we all know a lot about after 2001, okay, is the number of falling short of the number of will. And again, this is occultically mocking not only the police, but the people who call them to solve their problems for them that result from base consciousness. Every time that number is dialed, it represents a failure of love, of the will, and of a transcendence or an ascension to higher levels of consciousness. Therefore, we add the 2 ones, we get the number 92. We have fallen short of the 93. Love, the will, and higher consciousness. Okay, so I've illustrated that a little bit in the next slide. Okay, 92 out of 93 is where we got to. We didn't quite make it, right? So we do the reduction symbolized by the arrows. Excuse me, the arrows. 92, add the 9 and the 2, you get 11. Add the 2 ones, you get 2. At the bottom, add the 9 and the 3, you get 12. Add the 1 and the 2, you get 3. That's Gematria reduction. We come out to 2/3, and that is a repeating 6, which basically means eternal failure. Always 6. Forever. And that's the definition of hell, which is what this world is rapidly becoming if we don't